Peter Strzok'S wife, who is SEC director, blocked all FBI investigations into the Clintons. By Sean for YourNewsWire.com. Hours after the FBI found classified Clinton emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop, Peter Strzok'S wife was promoted to a powerful position in the SEC and immediately blocked all criminal proceedings against the Clintons. According to FBI sources, Peter Strzok and his wife, Melissa Hodgman, were instrumental in preventing Bill and Hillary Clinton from having to serve jail time for their numerous crimes. Melissa Hodgman was promoted to Deputy Director of the Securities and Exchange Commission's Enforcement Division literally hours after Strzok and the FBI Director Andrew McCabe were debriefed about the Clinton emails found on Weiner's computer. True Pundit reports the FBI's original warrant for Weiner's laptop was issued in late September of 2016, and a subsequent warrant was issued on October 30th, 2016, so that the FBI could use Huma Abedin's and Hillary's classified emails as evidence in the reopening of the Clinton probe. Hodgman was promoted October 14th, 2016, literally hours after investigators started to examine the laptop contents for Clinton emails and assorted files, federal sources confirm. Federal sources said the FBI field office in New York, who handled the original Weiner warrant for then U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, reported to Strzok and McCabe that they had found evidence pertaining to the Hillary Clinton email case on October 12, 2016, federal sources said. About 36 hours later, Hodgman was promoted in the SEC. The Wall Street Journal's reporting on the laptop case confirms that the early October timeline divulged to True Pundit by FBI sources. The latest development began in early October when New York-based FBI officials notified Andrew McCabe, the Bureau's second in command, that while investigating Mr. Weiner for possibly sending sexually charged messages to a teenage minor, they had recovered a laptop. Many of the 650,000 emails on the computer, they said, were from the accounts of Ms. Abedin, according to people familiar with the matter. 2 weeks after Hodgman's appointment, the FBI secured a subsequent search warrant to use Hillary and Huma emails from the 650,000 warehoused on the computer as evidence. Strzok has been a lightning rod of controversy recently. He also was a key player in U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller's probe on President Donald Trump and Russia, but Strzok was kicked off that team after texts were uncovered between himself and FBI Lisa Page that were malicious to Trump, Trump's family, and members and conservatives in general. Over 10,000 texts between the duo paint a collective picture of two partisan liberals who supported Hillary Clinton at the same time. Strzok was supposed to be investigating Clinton as part of an allegedly sweeping criminal probe. Strzok and Page were also having an extramarital affair. Both are married. Now it is discovered Strzok's wife was promoted to a very powerful position in the SEC, with oversight of which securities and financial crime cases get forwarded to the FBI DOJ for prosecution. Perhaps Hodgman's promotion was merely happenstance, you think? There are no coincidences here. One FBI source told the True Pundit, not with this crew. They wanted his wife in that SEC slot for a reason. But why? Enter the Clinton Foundation. We now know that the FBI knew after they seized the laptop during a search warrant at Weiner's and Abedin's Manhattan residence. There were thousands of documents on the laptop related to the Clinton Foundation, including offshore financial records. With that evidence, as well as thousands more of classified emails linked to Hillary on the laptop, FBI sources said agents and brass knew immediately the Bureau would likely reopen the criminal case against Clinton, and ex-director James Comey did just that 2 weeks later. Hence, the rush to get an insurance policy in place at the SEC in case things heated up on the white-collar crime side. With Hodgman at the SEC and Strzok at the FBI, it would be virtually impossible to even know what cases linked to the Clinton Foundation had criminal merit if each were trying to keep all things Clinton-related quiet. But Charles Ortel, an expert on the financial dealings and filings of the Clinton Foundation, believes having chess pieces in place at the SEC and FBI were only a smaller part of a much larger game for the Clintons. The Clinton business plan to monetize government is broader than simply gaming one agency. They saw an opportunity to create unregulated globalist government and seeded many organizations with like-minded persons, some of whom were simply naive, but all of whom ultimately are corrupt, Ortel said. Ortel, a private investigator and writer who exposes large, complex international frauds, understands the labyrinth of the Clinton Foundation's international scams. And while the foundation itself is not a public company, which would fall under the SEC's regulatory umbrella, its finances remain entwined with dozens of public entities that do. Ortel has laid out many of these relationships on Crowdsource, The Truth, on YouTube every Sunday, dissecting the complex financial schemes of the Clinton Foundation. Ortel said having a hook inside the SEC would certainly benefit Hillary Clinton. The SEC is a civil agency that only prosecutes criminal cases in concert with the DOJ. Ortel said. It is a prime instrument that can be monetized readily. Lawyers there typically migrate to jobs as partners in uni-party law firms so they can. It seems to be managed to favor politically connected donors from both parties. This amounts to a very sophisticated white-collar protection racket of sorts. If there were illicit contributions to the Clinton Foundation from publicly traded entities in any country, even companies listed on foreign stock exchanges, the SEC will still wields a tremendous amount of power to sanction, sue, or refer criminality to the FBI. And what about if a prospective donor to the Clinton Foundation has an ongoing problem with the SEC? Or the SEC has frozen certain assets of a donor? Well, the Clintons have the juice to make all that go away, or to protect donors from the SEC and FBI oversight, and especially, quote, fix problems of their billionaire and millionaire benefactors and further rig the system. The IRS, Lois Lerner, and others is the prime place where the Clintons and Obamas and Bushes need allies to insulate their foundations from attention and using the DOJ and state attorney generals from prosecutions, Ortel said. A modern-day mafia. You see? So, in other words, they were funneling the money into, like once they caught them, the SEC caught them, they would funnel the money into their foundations and make the problem go away. You see, modern day mafia. But what they fail to mention here is who appointed Strzok's wife to the SEC. Who gave the go-ahead to appoint her there? That's a good question to find out. Who told her to get in there? And notice how everything went away with Weiner's laptop. All the insurance policies that Uma Abedin had in Anthony Weiner's laptop as an insurance policy file. That was information on Clinton, whereas she used it on Anthony Weiner's laptop to protect herself, just in case something else happened to her or something. So no mention of anything. The police, the two that were looking to go forward with the information on the laptop, they were fired by James Comey. So there are a lot of questions behind that, but I think they're zeroing in on these people now, so their heads will start rolling. Once this Russia witch hunt gets thrown out, you're going to see a lot of action taking place by President Trump and the people behind President Trump that are getting to the bottom of all this corruption. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.